Test, test.
So it would be in their absolute best interest to send out high-quality signals like that. Practice what you preach and make money this way. Trade came out to an 50% win ratio. And maybe this was a bad move for some people who are using
kind of facing the sky there. What's going on, blue chips? How we doing? Friday night. We are here. First day of May. Hope you all are having a good one. Let's see what we got here for the weekend. Oh, I actually did that one this morning by accident, didn't I? Where the focus goes, where the focus goes, power flows. Oh no, I remember just saying this one earlier because I ripped it off by accident. Be yourself. No one else is qualified. Well, let's get to it. Zishan, what's going on, man? Mr. Gifford, sorry you couldn't make it tonight. I'm glad to see you stop by at least and let us know. Thomas, Heidi ho. Ooh, did you guys hear that? See the little smoke coming out? I got a real balls here tonight. Not worried about the carbs. Got it. These bottles are just awesome. See all like the little... It's an original. Pretty excited. Sean K, what's going on, man? You didn't win anything yet. We get to 35 viewers and 20 likes. You could win some balls. So 2 things I want to accomplish at least tonight. First being, I would like to go over my trades from today, as I usually always do. Just have a little talk-see about it. And then I want to change my montage around a little bit. So really the only 2 things that I'm looking to make sure that we get done here tonight. Along the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm actually very curious. Yeah, I see a lot of the, I want to say on Instagram, I want to say a lot of Instagram people get paid to hype that. A lot of YouTubers too. First time I ever saw Bang was from a guy named Destroying on YouTube. He's a field goal kicker, believe it or not. That's what I do kind of in my spare time, but he actually became like pretty famous on YouTube. And yeah, that was the first time I ever saw and heard of Bang energy drink. Pepsi bought them out. Interesting. Anyone know how to remove tree sap from clothes? Yeah, you throw them away. I need B to trade my account for a week so I can retire. Right? I think we all feel the same way. That dude is a beast. He actually said something to Scott today that kind of hit home a little bit and it really makes you put things in perspective. And he said that you shouldn't really be trading unless you have enough money for 3 backup accounts. And you should also have about 2 years worth of bills and like everything, like all the money that you would need for 2 full years set aside. Like if you could get to that point, you would then emotionally be able to trade the way that you're supposed to. Because at any given time, you know that one trade is not going to, make or break you, right? At any given time, somebody trading on an account where it's their only account and they're trying to pay the bills with that account, that could be very dangerous. And you could essentially, not be able to feed yourself if you don't win a trade, right? And that's going to put some emotions on the table that you cannot have there when trading. So it's kind of crazy when he said something along the lines, and quote, I'm quoting what he said. 2 years of basically like what you would consider your salary to be to pay for everything, and then to have an extra 3 accounts worth of money set aside just in case you need it, is what you should have in order to like really feel confident to be emotionally where you need to be to trade. That's kind of scary. But when you really think about it, it could be very, very true. So just keep that in mind. 90% of this, a lot of the professionals will tell you, 90% of the trading is emotional. It's all about your emotions. Why you stop at average price? I mean, adding to losing position. Wait, what? Are you talking about Reed? Right, Sean? That's what I said. Hopefully I can get there one day, though. That'd be pretty nice. I have a lot of things I need to do in between that, like buy a new house, uh, feed the kids. I mean, hopefully I can save extra. Hopefully we can get to a point where that's what we're doing, right? So we'll see. So, anyways, as Ray, I want to say it's Raid. Oh, there we go, Raid. That would sound a lot more appropriate, I think. I'm gonna just quickly go over my trades from today, if anybody didn't happen to catch my recap, but it's more so to kind of get into what I'm looking to do from here on out. So let's scroll in here on CEMX. This one was pretty straightforward. We had been talking about this last week, actually, about where when we saw something about the halt and we sensed that it wasn't going to necessarily have the volume to really push into the halt, we would look to enter, right? Because it can't go any higher, right? At that halt price at 523, which is where this was, it literally could not go higher than 523 unless it halted at that time, right? Obviously, the halt price can move up every minute. It can update, and it could go higher, which in this case it didn't, because it actually just ended up halting anyway. But how many times do you see a stock go into what looks to be a halt, and then it just flushes like a good 20, 30 cents before deciding what it really wants to do, right? You get a lot of people that don't want to be in a halt, so they will end up selling their shares just because they think it might gap down, whatever the reason may be. A lot of time, I've been paying attention to them, and a lot of times you see they will, give you a pullback before maybe ultimately halting. So if we can get an entry right before a halt price, we know that we can't get stopped out right away, right? This thing cannot push any higher because it would just halt. And that same amount of time, if it's already extended into a halt, the odds are we're looking pretty decent as far as when it comes out of the halt. The only way we could ever get really screwed in a halt situation is if for some reason, say this was a buyout at 6 or something, right? And then this thing halted at 520 and our stop is at like 541 or wherever it was. It was 541 because our entry was 521. And this thing just opens at 6, right? That's the only way that we could like really kind of get screwed. But even then, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? You'd just be losing 3-4 R in a trade. But again, like obviously that can happen, but the odds of it happening aren't that great. Hey Tim, can you tell me what the dotted lines and the solid lines are again? Yeah, the solid lines are today's high and low. So if you notice, if you look at the intraday chart, this is the high of day. The dotted lines are, the red one is yesterday's close, and then the dotted green one is yesterday's high. So the reason I have those on the chart is a lot of times you'll have a chart that'll gap down and then it'll come up and it'll retest those highs from yesterday. And I'm looking for exactly what this thing did, extend away from it. So I love extensions away from previous resistance because ultimately they usually try to come back down and retest them. And look, this one did. We just didn't obviously wait all day for it to happen. I mean, it wasn't even all day. It got there by lunch, which is what we're going to end up trying to do here when we change our montage around a little bit. I'm going to be adding 50 and 75% cover positions. I guess sell as well. So what that will do is it will allow us to play the pivots on the way out so we can scale out. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to eliminate, let's see if we can just do one real quick. You think I need about 10 more buttons? Bang and Balls. I wonder what's next. I wonder if Bang would actually sponsor me, though, because Balls is not stepping up to the game. Maybe I'll go try a Bang, and if I really do like it, hey, maybe I'll shoot them an email since Balls is ignoring me. Yeah, the buttons are nice. I like them. They make everything foolproof. So I haven't even looked at this yet. I was pretty busy with the kids, and my youngest, he has one of his final molars coming in, and he was just flipping out about an hour ago. So I was kind of dealing with him. I finally came back down, and I was just kind of watching some random YouTube videos, a lot of Counter-Strike and Magic type stuff. How do I like my new system versus old? Believe it or not, I love the new system because it's so easy. Not easy as far as like, making money, like hand over fist or whatever you want to call it. But easy as in you hit the button, going into the trade, you know exactly how much you can win or lose. Or, well, in this case, the way that I'm actually going to be changing it up, I'll know the amount that I could lose every time. And that's it. Like I have a set risk every single trade, so I don't have to worry about it. Tom, what's going on? But you knew it was for you. But the thing is, I really like the idea of the 1-1-2 system. I don't feel like it's profitable enough for me with being so good at single entry type trades. So how I'm actually getting around that a little bit is by getting full size with a single entry, and then I'm going to look to scale out. So right now I've been doing 1-to-1, and I've proven to myself that it works, right? I'm profitable just trading 1-to-1, letting a trade go 1-to-1, and that's that. So now I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to try to take out some of my position and let it scale out, looking for these big fade moves. Because if we really scroll in here, let's scroll in, and we look for pivot points. So this thing comes down. We ended up taking the position off here a little bit early. Comes down, tests 486. It comes back up. It never makes a new high. Then it tries to come back down, never makes a new low. So technically, you do not have a pivot point in here, right? Your pivot point is still high of day. Comes back down, comes back down, comes back down. Let's see, what was the low? 486. 486, 486. So it tries to hold again, bounces back up to VWAP, comes down, finally breaks it. So now, what does that make your pivot point? The pivot point is now the high of this entire move. So now your pivot point would be 516. So your pivot point went from the high at 523 just down to 516. That's it, right? So this entire time that you're in this trade, what do we got there? Daddy tipped 420. It's not 420. It's May 1st, man. How you been, man? Seriously. I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. You still killing it? I don't really see you. Don't really post on Twitter. You stopped the YouTube again. You don't message me on Discord. I feel left out. My son has abandoned me. No, you're not. Get out of here. Seriously though, you have to update me. Like, we'll have to catch up a little bit. I feel like I seriously haven't talked to you in a while. But real quick, let me finish my thought on the pivots here. So every time we came down, we never broke a low, but we also never went higher. So until we break that low, which was right here at 86, we now finally have a new pivot point, which is that high. So we come down, pop back up right here, and then we break that low again right here, 476. So now our pivot point becomes this high, right? We popped back up through that low and we came back down through it. So now we have a new pivot point of 486. So we just went from 523 to 516 all the way down to 486, right? And we're still riding this thing down, 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 no pop, no pop, no pop. And then boom, finally get a pop back up. So, oops, I don't really want that line there yet. Pop back up, still don't make a new low, comes back up, still didn't test this 486, right? We can let me get rid of this one. So we would have to break this 486 for our pivot to get broke. Comes back up, comes back up, comes back up, comes back down. Finally, we break a low right here. So now that would make it the high, which is right here. So now we're down to 473, 472, whatever these candles are. 470, yeah, so 473. So let's scroll over. Let's keep looking at the rest of the day here. Let's just actually zoom in here. So here's the rest of the day. We broke that low. We come back up. So 473, we try to get up there. We don't. Come back down, and we break the low again. So what's that do? It only lowers it to right here, 470. So we only went down 3 cents. Come down, pop. Well, let's see. We break it. We actually pop back up above it real quick. Come back down. We break that low again. right there. So we could technically move our pivot all the way down to here. 453. Come back down. Pops back up a little bit. I wouldn't count this one. Comes down, makes a low, pops back up, comes down, breaks it again right here. 430. So technically our pivot is now here, 446. Come back up and we finally break it. Stop out 446. We took profit at 505, where if we would have taken, say, even 75% of our position, on 25% of our position, we could have made this entire move. Like if you were playing the pivots all day long and you just let it ride until that pivot breaks, it did not break from the high of day at the morning bell until this candle here at 3:15 in the afternoon. Just faded all day. You see these all the time. It happens. So I'm looking to finally try to capitalize on this a little bit, and we'll see what happens. K-Dub, what's up, man? David, what's going on? Man, only if we could just get 35 people in here, we could do a giveaway. But yeah, the pivots are something that I have been highly interested in, and let's pull up. Let's do a little full screen here. It'll be a little easier for you guys to see. If I can make this, there we go. So this is including today. This is our return from April 2nd until today, right? May 1st. So this is when we started doing the one-to-one trades. We're at 49 trades. So I might actually up it. You know what? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll just up it to the next level, which is $30 from 20. We started at 10, went to 20. We can go to 30 starting on Monday. I will go ahead and update that as well. I might not do that on the stream. I'll just do it over the weekend. Yeah, David, we didn't even look at this for pivots today, and this was one of my trades. But yeah, the pivots would have worked out. We wouldn't have got stopped out until 446. That would have been pretty nice. Hit the like button and I'll send a stripper or a hooker to your door for free. Jeez, this became X-rated. How is Trading Monkey doing? I literally don't pay attention to other traders too much anymore. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying that their channels aren't good or providing any good content. I haven't been watching because I feel like I need to focus on myself and my own trading. And I feel like I'm not really going to learn necessarily from them anymore because all the people I've been watching, they're pretty much doing the same thing that they were. So I know what they're doing on a daily basis. So it really doesn't benefit me to sit here and kind of watch them. So I've been more so studying myself, looking through my own stats, all that good stuff. So let's pull this back up. All right. So as you can see, our win percentage is 57, loss percentage 40. There's a break-even trade in there. That's why it kind of throws it off a little bit. Let's pull up the calculator real quick. So out of 49 trades, let's click on win here. Status, win. Could have just did the math, but it'll be easier this way. So 28 divided by 49 gives us that. So if we did 28 divided by 46, if we took 3 trades away, we would actually be at 61%. So I like to think that if we had the rules in place like we should have, theoretically we should be around 61% win percentage, and that's doing 1-to-1. So I'm actually curious if 2-to-1, let's see, pull that calculator. 18, that's not good, I don't think. 18, I know 4 of my trades were descending triangles. So let's go to 49, so it's 45. So actually 40%. So it would have been profitable, but not by much. So let's do 20 times 18. And then let's do, how many losers would that be? It's too late for math. So 27 times 20. So technically I did that wrong. So it's 360 times 2. Oops, I'm doing all kinds of things wrong here. 360 times 2, 720. and then 27. So 720 minus 540. So we'd be up 180 if we were doing 2-to-1, doing $20 on every trade. But if we did, what was the 18? No, that's not right. How many winners did we have that weren't 2-to-1? Sorry. I did this earlier. I'm doing the math because the reason the math is off, so obviously it's going to be 360, I guess. But 2 of these winners, so it's actually 26. So 26 times 20, and then that would leave us with 45, so 19 times 20. So 520 minus 380. So we would have made $40 extra if we were doing 2-to-1, but mentally it would have sucked. But what I'm getting at is we don't have to necessarily do 2-to-1 if we're going to start scaling out like I was talking about. So, but the other reason I was doing that is because if you guys remember, the first 25 trades were with $10 risk, not 20. So if for some reason my $20 risk trades, as you can see on Monday, I traded CNX 6 freaking times and lost all 6 times, including some slippage there with the new $20 risk. So that completely throws everything off because I was doing, like, let's take a look at the line chart real quick. So you'll see that this was using $10 risk. And then right here, I actually started using $20 risk. We had 2 winners, 1 winner, and then we had 6 losers all in one day. But the whole beginning of this was just using $10 risk. So it just goes to show you that, you know, we kind of got emotional. That was just a really bad day, a day to forget. Should not. And it gave us a rule. So that's always a good thing. Volatility mentoring. Well, I know, Dave. I messed that up. That's why I times the profit part by 2. That's how I ended up getting the right number. He has 3.8K subs. Damn. Yeah, somebody had told me the other day that he was bringing in like 500 viewers like live every day, and I'm just like, Jesus. Where did I go wrong? I get like 20. Hey, he's entertaining. I'll give him that. If people are there watching him for the entertainment, he definitely provides. Mr. Nice, you won't learn, but you'll find out some info from other traders that are helpful. Are you adding one to some? What do you mean by that? Not to be rude, but Tim deserves it more than him. Appreciate that, Zishan. Trading Monkey, you know, I remember back when I was watching him, I tried to help him out as much as I could. And he was very set in his ways. He didn't seem to want to learn anything from other people. He just wanted to do things his way. And I think the streaming really got to him. He noticed that he was becoming a little bit more popular. And I think watching him is kind of like when you turn on the news and you see a high-speed chase going down. You kind of know how it's most likely going to end. So you just kind of can't stop watching until it does. And I think he kind of carries that same mentality. But hey, he's doing his thing, right? Apparently he's got almost 4,000 subs and he's bringing in like 500 views live every single day. So people are watching it. You know, people like drama. People like entertainment. So if that's what he's there to provide, then good for him. Is he actually making money now? I'm like last time I checked, he was still paper trading. Monkey has the power of a pump now with 500 plus live people. Yeah, that's true. He does. Ross Cameron status. He's streaming on Facebook now. Monkey is? I remember when Monkey first started streaming. I'm not going to like necessarily brag about this, but I deserve 100% credit for getting him started streaming on YouTube because he came to me and asked me how to set it up. And we literally talked on Discord, like voice chat, for about 2 or 3 hours trying to figure out how to set his YouTube live streaming up. And eventually we got it. So I take full credit. for everything that I should be getting like 50% of his profits from YouTube. Just saying. Tom, everyone is paper trading. It's a cool thing. I'm not. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that paper trade. We all know that. They keep getting caught, so it's just a matter of time with a lot of them. So, anyways, where were we here? I don't even remember why I brought this up now. I guess it was just to kind of go through and just kind of give you guys an update on where we were for the month. Yeah. Anyways, just wanted to say hi. Hi. Hey, Jonathan, what's up, man? I miss you too, man. Seriously. Hit me up on Discord whenever you get free time. I've been using the 1-to-1 bracket and I love it. I had 4 green and 1 red this week. Hells yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love it too. It forces you to be more patient too. And the thing is, when you hit that button, you know exactly how much you can lose. So it's not like when I was scaling in, where if this thing just kept on running, I have an idea how much I want to lose if it's a losing trade, but you don't know what that thing's going to do. You don't know if that's what you're going to end up losing. Like, there's always that question mark. But if you hit the button and you have your bracket orders already set, you're good to go. You have a set risk. It's that simple. See you, Tom. Appreciate you stopping by, man. But I feel I'm leaving money on the table. I would like to sell 75% of my shares and let the other 25% run. How would you write that script? Were you not here, sure, about like 15 minutes ago when I went through my whole spiel on pivot points? Scott, what's up, man? So did you see Bitcoin's push? No, I did not. Let's take a look. There it is. What is Bitcoin doing here? Whoa, up to 8,800. Oh, snap. Look at them go. Look at that push here in one day. Is that from 7,700 all the way up to 8,800? Woo. Look at it go. Dun, 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 dun. Did you see my previous post, Marcus? Hi. No, I did not. Tom was getting to me. Learning to day trade. If you guys don't know him, he used to do YouTube, but we became pretty close. And sometimes when I see him come in, I just get a little excited. So sorry about that, Marcus. Let me see. Hi, super new at this, and I've watched a few of your videos. Can you do one-on-one sessions? I have no problem. Like, if you want to come in Discord and just kind of pick my brain, I have no problem with that. As far as one-on-one sessions, the only thing I offer, and I'm not trying to sell anything, but I do kind of sort of offer that. But I'm not a professional. I will tell everybody that up front. I'm still learning just as much as anybody else. I've been doing this for almost 2 years, and I like to think that I'm getting the hang of this. But my Patreon is the only way that I will do stuff like that. And it's more of a way of you guys showing support for the channel. And if some people want to show more support by being a Patreon, then I would like to do my best to give back for that support, if that makes sense. So I'm not trying to sell. I'm just saying, if you would like to support the channel, there is the option in one of those in my Patreon to where I kind of make it sound like I'm doing one-on-ones. So it basically is that. So yeah. Jeff, what's up, man? FLDM. Oh, yeah, Scott. Scott and Brian had a nice conversation about FLDM. I actually saved both of your charts from earlier. What screen did that just open up on? Oh, it didn't open. Hold on. I believe this one is yours. And I believe that one is probably Brian's. So here is their charts on FLDM. Let's see, is that coming? There we go. So this was Brian's chart. This is what Brian does. The dude is a nutcase. He will start a position, and if this thing runs, he's looking at this thing like it's a lottery ticket. not a lottery ticket, like it's a winner, like a winning lottery ticket, I should say, if I'm going to say that. And he'll let it go. He'll try to feel the top, and he'll just keep smashing the thing, and just smash and smash and smash. And then, I mean, this is what he does. He shows these charts on a freaking daily basis. It's nuts. Here was Scott's chart, a little bit different. He was so close. Same starting point as Brian, but as you can see, I don't know if this was a stop out for full position, and then you got back in. But yeah, that looks like a hard stop to swallow there. But you did get back in, and you ended up getting a lot of that back, it looks like. So that was definitely a crazy one here at the close. Half position. Gotcha. You think this month or next month will get worse with the virus? There's a lot that people are not talking about. Everyone's like, oh, let's open back up. Let's open America. Let's open all these states. And a lot of people aren't taking into the account that businesses have been closed for how long now? There's a lot of businesses that just are not going to open back up. They're not going to be able to afford to open back up. All this bailout type money for the small businesses and stuff, it's not going to be enough for a lot of the businesses. So a lot of people had to let everyone go. Some of the stipulation with the bailout is you had to keep everybody on your staff if you wanted the bailout money. And even so, that bailout money would then pretty much just cover keeping them on staff. So it's not going to cover like the rent, all the money that you've been losing as they've been closed for months. It's just, there's a lot of, what was HTZ Hertz, the car rental company? They were talking about going bankrupt. That's a big company. So just imagine on a lower level, all these companies. So, do I think it's going to get better? No, I don't. I think that what's going to happen is we're going to open back up, and then fall's going to roll around, and then it's all going to start over again. A lot of these viruses that go around, like pandemic type viruses, it's not the first wave that does the most damage. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to really get into that. I can't really tell you anything new that hasn't already been said. So, but I definitely don't think it's just going to be like magic and the economy opens back up and everything's just going to go back to normal, which is what I think you started to see overnight last night and into today with the SPY, right? We had that crazy, almost up to 300. If we scroll back one more day here. Okay, just making sure I'm on the right thing. Look at this. We got all the way. Oops, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. We got all the way up here to 296. That's insane. Like, let's take a look at the daily of the SPY. And let's take a look at some of the like big companies out there. I don't know, just like CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines, RCL, Royal Caribbean. They haven't even made it back past that first pivot point from that first, like, go back to the SPY here. This first little pop back up after we hit bottom, right? Look at what the SPY did. It came back down a little bit, like halfway, and it's just been going up ever since for the most part. But then you start, like the airlines, look at that. They're still at their lows. Delta, Southwest, like look at them. They're literally at their lows. And the SPY is just like, I don't care about you guys. So what a lot of people don't understand is when all these places open back up, sure, they're going to finally be making money again, but how much money did they lose, right? How much from their bottom line is now just gone? So you really have to think of it that way. So sure, everything's going to open back up, but it's not like what just happened never happened. The last 3 months happened. And when we open up is another story, right? The guidelines is 14 days of decline, like cases, deaths, like hospitalizations, all that has to be declining for 14 straight days. One day pops back up over a previous day, starts all over again. So that 14, that's 2 weeks. So all it takes is one day to start over 2 weeks all over again. It could be months. You just don't know. And what if a place that hasn't had many cases, like in the state period, like what if it finally starts to spread that way? And then now you have a new hotspot, and now they have to start shutting everything down. It's just, I don't know. I definitely do not think it's going to get better anytime soon. Let's get me to 15 likes. That's right. Let's do it. Let's get me to 15 likes. Let's get the 35 viewers so we can do a freaking giveaway. I just want to give away these things. I mean, I don't. I'll keep them to myself, but that's not the point. Yeah, because they don't have anyone dumping money into them. I mean, that is true. I mean, the Fed clearly, they came right out and said it. Hey, we're dumping money into the market, but just because they're bringing the SPY back up, it's almost like it's like a front, right? Everyone expects you to look at the Dow, the Spider. They want you to look at those. Look at it, it's going up. The economy's fine. We're going right back to the highs. But then if you really dive down into the market and look at all the actual individual companies, that's not the case. I made your 15. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm always one behind. I keep forgetting that. I see you 15 and I raise you 20. Yeah, well, we don't even have 20 people watching, so I don't know if that's possible. Speaking of Patreon, Todd is the only one. He probably deleted it already. Jerk. I'm just kidding. Todd's an awesome guy. I've known Todd a very long time, since I was a little youngin'. Let's see, Patreon. It does. It says I have 0. Dang it, Todd. Jerk. Canceled it already. Why is that like white? But yeah, I think I'm viewing it. Yeah, let me view the public page. I made this a while ago. I have 4 levels. 5 is you just get it's kind of like a support thing. 10, yeah, let's see. Yeah, that one's really not special. 10's probably not worth it. But if you jump up here to 25, you start to really get into some good stuff. I guess I need to change that one. Once a month, yeah. So here's kind of what I was talking about. So once a month, half-hour talk about literally anything, and that was kind of what I was getting at. It's more of just let's hang out. But obviously, if you want to talk about trading, you could. But then the 50 is the one that I was getting at, where it says talk about everything all the time. I'm always down to make new friends. Blah 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 blah. So that was kind of what I was hinting at earlier. But yeah, Todd, you're a jerk. See you, Scott. Have a good weekend, man. I'll see you Monday morning. The porker sayings. I think you meant poker, but I'm not going to get into poker. Hold on. I need to turn my fan on, though. Hold on a second. It's hot. It's getting hot in here. Oh. Hopefully that's not too loud. Let me know if it is. I have it on low. I just wanted to get some air circulating. These are so good. They really are. I don't know how Bang could be much better. I know they have like a ton of flavors though. Okay. All right. Let's start messing with this montage a little bit. So like I said, guys, we're going to look to add 2 rows here. One's going to be 50% and one's going to be 75%. But what I first want to do is look if I can get rid of, we meant to start doing this earlier. I would like to get rid of the stop price. So cancel, route limit, price equals bid, shares 100, day. So trigger order. So it's probably not going to work, is it? Because we're going to have to change the entire, because it wouldn't be a range order anymore. Yeah, crap. I might have to do this one over the weekend. I'll have to figure it out, because I would have to change all of this, because it wouldn't be a range order anymore. I probably could sit here and figure it out, but I just don't feel like it, to be completely honest. I'm a little tired. All right, so I know we can do these though. So let's just copy paste these down to the bottom. Cover 100% position. Make this green. And boom. All right, so now all we have to do, now keep in mind, I always like to double check this just to be safe, but I'll go to my hotkeys and I will check by adding a new one. Go to the script wizard, make sure you guys can see this. And when I go to do my position times 5, I always make sure I get this right because sometimes I get this wrong. So I'll just come in here, copy paste this, because one time I went to cover half my position and I completely screwed it up. So right here, I can keep this hotkey. All I gotta do is just replace that, and then get rid of that space, change this to 50, and we're good to go. So then we can do this, Control C, edit, cover 75%, position, do that, put a 7 in front of the 5, change this to green, and just like that, we got a 50% and 75% cover. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the cells. Copy. Cell 100% position. Paste. Change it to red. Good there. Come in here. All right, I'm gonna just do it again. I just like to copy paste it just to be safe. There we go. Edit. Right there. Change this to 50. Copy paste this. Or just copy. There we go. So you can tell I've done this a couple times. Change, put a 7 in front of here. Change this to red. And we're good to go. Anything new with IB? You know, it's funny. I got an email from them saying Interactive Brokers activity statement notification for April of 2020. And I'm like, well, there's not going to be anything there. So I'm wondering if like the account is open, but they haven't, I don't know. But yeah, it says your monthly activity statement for April 2020 is now available for account U blah, 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 5356. So annoying. I mean, I guess I'm going to start a chat up with them. Maybe I'll wait till the 8th. So it's officially been a month. So maybe next Friday, I'll jump on a chat and be like, yo, enough's enough. All right. So I need to actually go in here and save this because I don't have, so I'm going to save as default. I'm going to open up my default. I'm going to load default. I'm going to commit, and then I'm going to make sure that these are linked, which they are. I'm going to go down here. It's my second chart. You guys can't see it. Load default, commit. Bring that down here. So I'm actually going to have to scroll these up just a tad because of adding the buttons. Let's see how far I gotta do it. Not too much. I wasn't that harmful. So I lose a little bit of the level 2 there, but not too much. All right, so let's save it. And we're good to go. All right, cool. So I got those buttons in there. So now over the weekend, I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to change the stop order part of these. So what's going to happen is I'm going to enter a position. And so let's go. What was the other trade that we took? MIST. So we're going to enter a position like right here, and we're still going to get the stop. So it's going to put the stop order in. So just in case it decides to run, we'll have a set stop loss in there with a set risk. But if it were to start working out for us, instead of just taking our order at 1-to-1, we can just look to scale out. And there's going to be times where I don't like my entry that much, and I might look to just get 1-to-1 and just be done with it. Like if 1-to-1 is right at a previous resistance, like you guys know that I like to look for the extension away from previous resistance. So if 1-to-1 is right at that area, I'll probably look to just take 1-to-1. I'm not going to get greedy and look for it to go through that and give me more, right? I'm not looking to scale out of it. But if I were to get into something like this, like say I top tick this thing up here, or even like just say I got in at like 415 or something like that, and this thing starts coming down. I mean, look how much room this thing had, right? I'm not going to just take my 1-to-1 at say $4 when this thing had plenty of room to come all the way back down to like 370 and then try to go even lower. So perfect example on that as well would be the other trade we took today on CENX. This didn't even really, its previous resistance was high of day from yesterday all the way down here at 465, and this thing was all the way up at 420. Our 1-to-1 was at 5. So if we think this thing can get all the way back down to 465, why would we take full position there, right? So just always something to think about. But there's going to be times where I look to just get 1-to-1, but there's going to be times where if I think a move is really extended, I'm going to look to get more than that. I'm going to look to scale out. So that's why we added these buttons. All right, let me catch up here. Just signed up with CMEG, waiting for approval, but I used your discount code. Thanks, man. Hoping they clear me soon. Nice. Good to hear, Helder. Just out of curiosity, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to spit numbers out there, but what are you depositing as far as an amount? I try my best to not let people get thrown into the washer. So I always recommend at least 3,000. That's kind of like my min starting point. Just because if you have anything less, commissions, the fees, they're going to eat you up. And if you have at least 3,000, they won't eat you up. It'll actually let you trade and really start to get into it. So 1,000, yeah, I mean, it'll work. It's tough because it just really gets your emotions involved. It does. And the reason I say that is it's tough. It really is tough. And as much as I want you guys to succeed, so I want you guys to be able to trade without PDT, and I want you guys to be able to short. So what I'm about to say is kind of irrelevant if you're looking to play the short side. But if you have less than $2,500, $3,000, I highly recommend going to one of the free US brokers, or just a free broker where if you're not inside the US, just use it as a cash account. So you can only go long with the cash account. You can't take short positions, and you do have to wait for your funds to clear after every single trade. But you won't have any fees. I'm pretty sure most of those don't have platform fees. So there's no back end cost. So you can really take your time and trade super small until you really figure it out. Now let's go to CMEG. You have $1,000 on CMEG. Their platform fee with DOS is $125. That's over 10% of your account just in a platform fee. That's tough. That's hard, right? When you really think about it, and you imagine losing $125 in one trade, you're thinking, holy crap, that was 12% of my account. Now imagine that coming out every single month. That's not including the commissions every single trade. Like, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying it's really hard. Like when people get on and they're like, I'm going to start a small account challenge. You see these other gurus, I'm going to start a small account challenge with $500. It's next to impossible unless you have unlimited reloads where every single time you can just go all in with that $500 to start, and then hopefully like double it and then double it again. And then double, like you have to be able to do that. And they have a chance because they can just keep reloading, and they also have experience, so they kind of know what they're doing. But for somebody that's new and they can't control their emotions, they don't have another $500 to $1,000 to put in just willingly. Like, your emotions come intact very quickly, and ultimately you become part of the 90% because it happens so fast, and the market drains you out of that money that you never really had a chance in the first place because you didn't give yourself a chance. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I highly recommend that maybe you start with a free broker and learn that way. I do recommend using real money. I just don't highly recommend using something like CMEG just to avoid the PDT rule only with $1,000. I would say you need a minimum of $3,000. So go make $2,000, prove to yourself that you can turn that $1,000 into $3,000, and then come over to CMEG. That's what I recommend. Such a struggle, Rawson. I can't, Jonathan. Not after kind of what they did. I just realized that I have putty, spackle, whatever you want to call it, inside my ring. I was doing some drywall earlier. You know what I hate about drywall? Is the fact that I'm really good at it and a lot of people are really bad at it. The countless times that I've had to do drywall work and I've hired people to do it, I've been so disappointed. So I always now just end up doing it myself. It's such a pain in the ass to do, but I somehow got really good at it, and I hate watching other people do it. They just rush it. It's really not that hard. It's just you got to be patient. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, Jonathan, TradeNet is not a bad option because it's kind of a set risk type thing, right? You pay a set amount, they give you an account, you can only lose a certain amount. It's not a bad way to get started. I don't recommend them just because of how they run their business. So you can do what you want, do your due diligence, but I personally don't recommend TradeNet. I would much rather you go to a US broker and just use a cash account. But if you're really, really, really wanting to like be on the short side of trades, then maybe something like TradeNet would be something to look into. But again, I personally don't support or recommend TradeNet, but I'm not saying that they're a bad option either. Recommendations for free brokers. I personally, I don't really have any because I don't use them. I know that Thinkorswim with TD Ameritrade, I know that they've really been taking a dump lately as far as their platform goes. Just a lot of lag, a lot of issues with orders and stuff like that. So I really don't know. I don't know what the best free broker is out there. I don't really concentrate on that. So you'd have to really kind of dive into looking around and doing your due diligence there and kind of figuring it out for yourself. So sorry that I can't help you out more in that aspect, but I do know from a personal standpoint and personally that trading with a smaller account is hard. So you need to be able to withstand those platform fees every month, the commissions on months where you kind of break even trading, but the commissions are still coming out. So $1,000, I'm sorry, but like if you're just getting started, it's not going to be enough. I really don't. I want to see you succeed. So that's why I'm really kind of hammering at this. I'll be honest, TradeNet is a good choice for a beginner trader in the way that they pay a flat fee. And if the account blows up, they don't have to worry about paying back a broker extra money. No, I agree. Yeah, I said that earlier. And look, I know they have deals and stuff all the time too. But like I said, I just don't agree with how they run things over there. And I don't agree with the business itself. But if you are a new trader, it is a good tool. It's a good tool to use to learn. I'll just leave it at that. And like I said, if you really want to short stocks, then yes, you could do that there. All right. So I think I'm all caught up in the chat here. I think I got everything done that I wanted to get done. You know what? Maybe I will pull up the hotkeys because this energy drink is kind of sort of kicking in a little bit. Let's see if I can't somewhat figure this out. I'm not going to be able to test it, obviously. Let's see, stop. So I'm going through an Excel sheet here where I have a lot of the scripts. Stop, update, stop, update, stop, update. I don't think I have one just for... I mean, I probably could just build it. It's probably not that hard. Yeah, like I said, sure, I love these keys. I really do. They've been amazing so far, and I'm proving that they work. All I want to do is I want to start I want to start maximizing the profit a little bit. So, you know what? Let's go back here. Just out of curiosity, let's start taking a look at charts of winners and see if I happen to have some full charts. So CENX we already know. SM. So here's another one. Take a look. We kind of forced ourselves out of this trade, but this pivot point up here, it's set at 408 or whatever. Look at what it did after, right? So we actually tried to scale out of this one, but my kids were being so bad. I remember this. But yeah, we took one loser there, and then we jumped back in, and we tried to scale out of this, but we were looking for it to go back at least and test that previous resistance. As you can see, that dotted green line, which was the high from the day before, and it did eventually get there. So we could have took out, say, 50% there, and that's the thing. That's what I'm looking forward to, is being able to hammer it with a single entry and then just scale out, like, say, 75%, then 50% of that, then 50, until I'm just done. So I'm definitely interested in that being my end goal here. LYV, let's see what we got here. So LYV was a little bit different. So this is one that would not have worked. We traded this one a couple times. We were right, then we were wrong, then we were right, and we tried to scale out because look how extended we were. This is what I was trying to say earlier. So the previous resistance was all the way down here at 38.85. So we got a nice extension away. We top ticked it the second time, and we tried to scale out of this, hoping it would fall back over, maybe come down, test VWAP and that previous resistance. But as you can see, it was just really strong and ended up going higher. So we ended up stopping out because we didn't get a pivot point or anything. So we stopped out at high of day there. Can you use CMEG to trade crypto as well, or is it strictly stocks? Looking to get an account, and yes, I have $3K to invest. Right now, you cannot trade crypto. They are currently working on options, I think, but as of right now, they're equities only, as far as I know. Yeah, if you are interested in some crypto, Circuit would be the guy to talk to. Jonathan knows his crypto. I'm not huge into crypto, but Jonathan slowly got me into it. And I do pay attention to it now, way more than I used to. So here's CNX when we actually won. This was a different day. And look, here we go. Look at this. I mean, this never even gave us a pivot point until all the way down here. And so previous resistance down here at 13, went through, basically top ticked this thing. Our 1-to-1 order gets hit at 1360. Right, let's make sure that this was actually a 1-to-1. Yep, our return was exactly 20. So we hit 1-to-1, and look at this thing. It just kept on going. Never gave us a reason to get out. There was no pivot points, nothing. And the first pivot point was right here, all the way down here at 13, and it went lower. So that was our first pivot point. And then it goes lower, pops back up here, breaks lower. So now our pivot point's all the way down here near that previous resistance. Goes lower, pops back up. It does go lower here and then breaks. So it looks like 1280, like 1282, 1283 would have been our final take profit there. I mean, but we covered 1-to-1 all the way up here at 1360. Look at that. That's nuts. That's another 80 cents. Let's see. And it wouldn't matter because we had it on the chart. So, I mean, that's some decent money that can be made there on some leftovers, and you see it happen all the time. How did you learn how to build the scripts? Lots and lots of practice. Seriously, just going into the hotkeys, go to setup, hotkey, pull it over. Mainly what I did, let me pull this up. Can I not pull this up? There we go. So mainly what I did is, come on, this add new item, just hit this. It'll bring up the order script wizard. You can see that. And I would sit here and just mess around with it. So say I wanted to buy, and you can go on DOS's website and they have, like, everything broken down, but you sit here and just scroll through and just start to read and understand what everything means. So 1,000 divided by price, what that's basically saying is $1,000 is your position. It'll divide that by the current price and it'll give you your share size. So if the current price is at $10, $1,000 would be 100 shares, right? So you're taking $1,000 position of that. Buying power times 50%, you should never use that. That's basically saying it's taking 50% of your total buying power and applying that to your share size. So say you have a $10,000 account, it's going to give you a $5,000 position. Well, if you have a $10,000 account, that's actually $60,000 buying power. So you would actually be taking a $30,000 position. So I don't ever recommend using that, but yeah. I don't know what the def share is. I don't know if it means like defined shares. I don't know. Maybe it's defined shares plus a certain amount of share. I don't know. Position is full position, right? So my cover 100%, sell 100% position. That's what that is. Position times 0.5. Obviously, that would be 50%. That's what I said. You don't need the share or anything like that. If you want to just do shares by itself, you can literally just type the shares in. So if you want like 125 shares specifically, you just do that. And at any time, you can literally just hit build script. And you'll see it just says, okay, shares 125, load for buy. Because it'll automatically do the load. If you want it to load and send, you just hit that and it'll now change that to send. And it'll literally just buy 125 shares whenever you hit that button. And then you could obviously just take the script, put it into a hot button, or you can set it to a hotkey, put a name, and literally it's just going through all of these and just messing with it over and over again. Ask plus a certain amount, bid minus a certain amount, bid plus a certain amount. You can use the last price if you're like trading a spread stock, high of day, low of day. And just mess around with it. I've been messing around with it since I started trading on DOS, which has been over a year now. And like I try to tell everyone, if you're building a house, you need to know how to use a hammer and nails, right? Well, if you're trading, you need to know how to use your tool that is doing the trading. So you should be sitting here practicing using your tools so that you know how to use them when it matters most, right? It's that simple. At least with a hammer and nails, if you bend a nail, you can pull it out and put it back. If you're trading and you make a mistake, unfortunately, you can't take it back. I would teach you, young grasshopper. YOLO buying power 0.5 default. IB average price works the same as DOS. Oh, it does? Nice. Alpine Trader, what's up, man? There's forums for DOS hotkeys. There's crazy options. You can click on the chart where your stop is, and it'll load how many shares you need. Say what? That's a thing? But you're kind of guessing. I mean, I actually know Constantine has something like that, where I think mine's actually set that way. Yeah, see, if I double click the chart, like at 550, you see it actually loads that into my montage, but it doesn't actually like give me shares or anything. And automatically put a stop once you enter the trade. Yes, please send me that link. I've never found forums for DOS. I would be very interested. A lot of people like to read fiction and mysteries and stuff like that. I like to read stuff about DOS. I'm actually really surprised that I haven't found that before, because I've done several DOS Google searches and I've never come across a forum. I used to be a big forum person when I was into cars a lot. I was a moderator for a long time on one of the forums that I was on. We actually have forums over at ISW. Speaking of which, if you are part of ISW and you have the platinum scanners, the new update is about to come out. I think he's going to release it over the weekend. And the platinum, everyone with a platinum scanner is actually going to get chat privileges now. Not for the team chat, but there's going to be inside, it's called the platinum chat. So you and all the other platinum members can come into that chat room, and obviously we will be in there as well, just to kind of help out. And if there's any questions, just chat, whatever it is. But that's a pretty cool feature that Brian's adding to kind of get the community of traders into one room. So I kind of like that. talking crypto down there. I'll leave that to you guys. Like I said, I'm not a big crypto guy. I feel like this Friday has been a little slow, huh? Let's see. Oh, it's Bear Bulls. Bear Bull Traders. So it's not a forum. Is this their website? I'll take a look. I don't want to run it on here because of the sound and stuff. I don't want it to get demonetized. I just pulled it up though. I'm gonna take a look at it when we get off stream real quick. Yeah, I see it's a video. That's interesting. Copy and paste the hotkeys. Make sure risk per trade is correct. Practice and sim before using. Right click on the chart. Select configure. Yeah, I got that already. I showed you guys. Click on monetize for long entry. Double click the chart where you want your stop placement to be. Use the hotkey we created in the beginning. So basically what it's probably doing is, say I want my stop to be at 550. I double click, and then if you hit the hotkey, it's basically putting a stop order in for me. So I could do that. I'm actually curious. Let me copy and paste the hotkeys. Does he have the hotkeys here? Okay, he does. Long with $20 risk per trade with stop sent to the market. So stop price equal price minus 0. Def share buying power times 0.925. What? See, I don't know what def share means. Let me look it up real quick. Das def share. Dynamically calculate shares on risk percentage or risk dollars. No, that's just showing. I've actually seen this script before. Oh, this is actually on his forums. That's funny. So they fixed the issue that prevented this from working. If you have version blah 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 blah. Interesting. Def shares. Must include def share. Does anybody know default shares? Yeah, but what does it do? That would make sense, default shares, but I don't know what it does. That's the problem. Yeah, but Alpine, I have buttons for that. This DT short and AT long. The DT short at any given time, it'll give me share. It'll base my share size. Like I'll show you. So what this is doing is it's putting the stop price. It's taking the current high minus the current bid price, and then it takes $20 right now. That's my set risk. It divides that by the price. So, and the price equals the high minus the bid. So it's giving me my share size with a stop based on high of day. And if you go over, it actually triggers an order when I hit that button, and it'll give me a 1-to-1. So say I jumped in here at, or let's just for theoretical sake, say the high was at 520. I hit the button at 510. It would give me a 1-to-1 order, stop at 520, take profit at 5, right? So that's what this button is designed to do. I actually built that one myself. Correct. Well, according to that video you sent, they're using monetary value as well. $20 risk, 20. Yeah, they're risking $20 on each of these. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's the same thing. We may have just went about it in a different way. Thomas, I'm about to ban you forever. MDGS. All right, let's hear it. I'm listening. Let me get the full chart up here. Everybody tune in. It's Alpine Trader Session. Zoom into the open area. Okay. While you explain a little bit, I'm gonna see if I can still find this def share. Just like see what it does. Maybe I'll just wait and ask. Be much easier probably. So it makes a low at the 380s. You would be correct. 381 to be exact. Jonathan, you kind of mean like the US dollar? Just keep adding trillions. You see it bounce there and you want to get in. Keep in mind this thing moves super fast, but you don't know where you will be filled. So you click on the chart under the lows and you hit the market order to fill. So you're saying I would click, say like here, 374 is where I click. And then I would hit the button and it's going to market order me into the trade, but it's going to put a stop right there under the lows. Okay, well, to be completely honest, that sounds hard. Literally, my button, this AT long button, would do the same thing, and it will give you the shares equivalent. So, like, if you want to risk 150, it would base your shares off of that. And if you really want to set your low, like say 1 cent under the current low, you can do that. Like I have it set to the low because usually you'll get slippage. But you could just do low minus 1 cent and it'll give you the same, it'll base it off of that. But what if the stop isn't high or low? What do you mean? Oh, you're saying like what if the stop, you're like, say you're using this pivot point and not low of day? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it doesn't do that. But I see what you're saying, but I personally don't play stocks that aren't doing that because I'm playing them based off of high of day or lower day, high of day or low of day. So I don't need that. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It makes sense. Like say you get a big bounce up and it pulls back to like VWAP, but it's a higher low and you want to jump in there, but you want to risk right below VWAP per se. You could do that, right? You just double click, hit the button. There you go. I got you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I personally don't trade like that, so I wouldn't need that. But it's the same concept, but it's just you can use it anywhere on the chart. It's pretty cool. I like that. And you're completely right there. DOS is absolutely amazing. The things that you can do with the buttons are next. There's nobody even close. Like you said, no one even close. I can't imagine not using DOS. It's actually why I'm kind of scared to use Interactive Brokers because I'm not going to pay for DOS while I'm over there because I'm going to be on PDT. So I don't think it would be worth the extra 120, 150 bucks or whatever it is to use DOS over there. So until I have enough money to be off PDT, I'm just going to be using Interactive Brokers. But what I am going to do is I'm basically going to just keep an Interactive Brokers montage up like in the background. So like say I pull up MDGS and I really want to get short and I don't have shares, I could literally just quickly bring up Interactive Brokers and see if they have the shares, and then I'll just have to try to manually trade it. So what I could do is I could have another montage as well for DOS and have all of these buttons set to just load. That would actually be a pretty good idea. So then I could click the button real quick, see how many shares it would give me, and then I could just transfer that over to Interactive Brokers. But we all know that the time it might take to do that, I might miss the trade. I already miss trades enough as it is because they happen so fast. I'm not moving. I'm opening up an Interactive Brokers account as well on top of CMEG, just so that if there's a trade where CMEG doesn't have shorts available, Interactive Brokers lately always seems to have shares. Brian from ISW, the dude is shorting almost everything. So it'll be nice to just grab an extra 3 trades every 5 rolling days on PDT when I can. So that's kind of the thought process behind that. And hot, sexy buttons. Say what? Yeah, but Interactive Brokers, they usually have the shares available for the small caps, so you don't even need to worry about it. Trust me, we ask Brian all the time because Brian will be like, he'll say a ticker that he's trading, and we'll all be like, oh, we don't have any shares, and he'll be like, oh, Interactive Brokers is showing, like 47,000 whatever available. What do you mean, no, not at all? Are you with Interactive Brokers? He doesn't really trade all low floats. He trades low floats, but not all of them. But I would say pretty much, maybe he is locating. I don't know. Does IB charge you for locates? Yeah, that's Cadence popped in with the same question. I don't really know. I've never really messed with him. Venom? No, I have not. Never even heard of him. Excited to start trading with ISW on Monday. Talked with Brian. He is a nice guy and seems that he is killing it with the strategy he is. Kamal, did you get the scanners? Nice. Very nice. Did you signed up through the link, right, though? So it'll give you got the discount, hopefully? Yeah, Cadence, I actually do giveaways for the chat room to be part of the team for a week here and there. I was actually thinking about doing one since we're getting close to 2,000 subs. Yeah, Kamal, if you didn't use a code, just let Brian know. You can name drop. Just tell him that you meant to sign up through mine. That way you'll get a discount. I don't know if you said you already signed up, so I don't know if you got the discount or not. Brian is the owner and maker of the ISW scanners, and he's kind of a lot of people's mentors at this point. A lot of us that are part of Team ISW, we get to see him trade on a daily basis, and it's disgusting sometimes to watch him trade. Very frustrating. All right, Jonathan. Yep, I'll be there. Oh, no, come on. It's good. No. It's fine, man. I was just making sure that you got a discount. That's all. I'm just trying to help you out. Now, GDT, man, he's killing it. He's killing it lately. That would be great. I did a 14-day free trial at Live Traders. Pretty good guys, but not really my style of trading. Yeah, they do some breakout type trading over there. The 3-bar, 4-bar type plays and stuff. Jared, I like Jared though. He reminds me of myself a little bit as far as like being blunt and honest. So I do appreciate knowing someone else out there just like him. Thomas. You guys have to realize the way Jared trades, it's very 50%. He does not win a lot, but it's a 2-to-1 type strategy. So if you can be 50% trading 2-to-1, you're good to go. But his problem is he almost never trades 2-to-1. It's very rare you see him actually trade a 2-to-1. Usually he'll take like half his shares or most of his shares at 1-to-1, and then he'll look to try to ride the rest out. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually what I plan to start doing myself. Wait, no inside jokes with Rona going around. Well, well, yeah, exactly. That's an inside joke, the horseshoe. I risk negative R. Yeah, GDT just hit 5K. Killing it. Yeah, if any of you are interested in ISW, just let me know. I do not trade. Since February of last year, I have not taken one single trade that was not from the scanners. I don't have to. I always preach that I do not have to wake up early in the morning. I can't wake up early in the morning to sit down and go over stocks for the day, make a watch list and all that stuff. I have 2 very young kids that I have to take care of. Hold on one sec. And, when the market opens, your watch list could go to shit anyway. So then what? I can't. I have Devin in the Discord. I've been friends with him ever since I started trading. And he makes a watch list, and there's some days where he'll make a watch list and his watch list just does nothing, and then he's kind of on the search. And that's the beauty of the scanners. It just does the work for you. You just sit there and wait, let the scanner do everything for you, and then you just pull the charts up and you're good to go. I love it. You don't actually see Brian trade, but he alerts everything pretty much real time. Are you in the room? Like, are you coming into the room with us, Kamal, or are you just like, do you just have like the elite or platinum scanners? DDD, or was that supposed to be GDT? I'm confused. And up 6K in the month, 5K account scalping. I feel like you're missing out. Ella, I've seen your video some days where you say it's slow. Well, it's slow for what I'm looking for. Like, you were just saying you like to trade inside ranges, where I don't do that. I like to see extensions away from previous supports or resistance, so it's a little different. Yeah, Devin, I got you, Devin Danger Dallas. I always call him that. I love it. But yeah, he is killing it. Gotcha. Well, like I said, you're coming in at the right time to be part of the platinum scanners, because you guys, I'm pretty sure, I got a feeling he's going to release it over the weekend. So you're going to actually have a chat room to be in with all the other platinum members too. So that'd be pretty cool. Marcus, hey, got to go, Tim. I will pick your brain about all this and the scanners and all this trading stuff. Very interested. Thanks and good night to everyone. Appreciate you stopping by, Marcus. Like I said, yeah, just hit me up. We'll talk. I think I'm actually going to be getting out of here myself pretty soon, unless anybody has some good old questions to ask. But I'm getting pretty tired. It's about midnight. Got some stuff accomplished here. You know what? While we're waiting, maybe we'll go through and start editing these hotkeys. Maybe I'll start doing that. I trade counter trend often. SPCE, FL. Gotcha. Yeah. You said you're scalping though. Are you scalping with some pretty big size? Like you said, you have a 5K account. What kind of share size are you using? $300. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely make some money with. That's what a lot of people don't understand is even 300 shares, you can make a lot of money. It adds up. Can you share the script when you put them in? Yeah, sure. I mean, the scripts are all going to be the same. Why the 2 minute versus 5 minute or 1 minute? Very simple, very good question, but very simple answer. The 1 minute is just too busy. So when you're looking at the 1 minute, it can just get very choppy. Look at all the wicks on all these candles. Where a 2 minute, if you scroll in, it's just a little bit less busy. Actually, of course, the wicks are a little bit worse on this chart. But if you have a 1 minute chart, it chops up and down, up and down. Where if you have a 2 minute chart, you can still kind of feel the 1 minute chart, but it kind of smoothens it out a little bit. And then the 5 minute chart. And by the way, you guys, if you click this arrow, they actually have a 3 minute chart now on DOS. I didn't know that. We found that out last week. But even with the 3 minute, you can see less chop. And then the 5 minute is just, it's a little too slow. I'm playing pretty intense moves. So the 5 minute, it's really not going to give me what I'm looking for. Now, when you're playing pivot points, if you're scaling out, maybe going from the 2 to the 5 or even just 2 to the 3 could help you out a little bit, because it will change your pivot points a little bit. It'll give you a little bit of a broader scale, maybe give you a little bit more of the big picture as far as scaling out coming to the pivot points. And this one would have been really good for pivot points. Actually, you would have got stopped out right here. That would have kind of sucked, because it was a fake out. 449. No, you actually would have stayed in. Oh man, we're not going to be able to do it because of the stupid order thing. I'll do one just to do it. But all we're doing is we're changing our share size. So, well, actually, for the DT and the AT, no, I don't want to delete. I would like to edit. I can just go in here and change the price to 30. And then for these, so for 50 cents, so the formula that we used for these is, let's pull up the calculator. Let's get it all on the same screen here. Okay. So it's the length of the move times 40%, and then the risk reward range to 1, and so you just divide that into it. So you would take the 50 cent move, and so 0.5 times 0.4. So it's 20 cents, and then we would times that by 30, or divide it. That's right. Sorry. Nope, 30 divided by 0.2. There we go. So it would be 150 shares. So for anybody interested, my short bid, which is this is the one that I use the most often. I will put this in the chat. I did save my montage. So all I'm doing is I'm changing all of these. So you saw this one was 100 shares at $20. So now it'll be 150 shares for $30. And then there we go. So I'm actually going to do this just so I remember what they are. So 150. So same thing for the next one. So 30-cent move, or yeah, 30 cents. No, 75 cents. Sorry. So 0.75 times 0.4. Oops, I'm an idiot. I wasn't back on the calculator. Clear. 0.75 times 0.4, so 0.3. So then we would take 30 divided by 0.3, we get 100. So this one will go from 67 to 100. Put that up there. I mean, some of these I could probably just do by myself. So this one's 50, so it's probably going to be like, it would be 75, right? Because we're just taking half and then adding to it. But just to show you how we get it, so 1 times 0.4, so we get 0.4, and then we take 30 divided by 0.4, and we get 75. That's all I'm doing. And I'm just going to have to go through and edit it for all of these. So 1.25 times 0.4, 0.5, or 30 divided by 0.5, 60. Right? So half of 40, add it, there you go. 40 plus 20 is 60. 75, 60. So here, this one would be like 15, so you're going to add it, so it's going to be like 70-ish, or like 50-ish, right? Should be 50. 150 times 0.4. 30 divided by 0.6 is 50. Okay, and then we got one more, which is the $2 button. I haven't used this one lately. 25, so it's going to be, what about like 30, or right around 40. 2 times 0.4, 30 divided by 0.8, 37.5. So we'll do 38. Actually, we'll do 37. Because if we're playing ones up there, sometimes we'll play ones that are like $3, so I'd rather just be on the short side of it just in case. Nope, 38. I lied. I'd rather be on the full side if we are getting 1-to-1. All right. So now I'll have to go through. I'm gonna save this. Oh, are you effing kidding me? You see this? All right, so we're gonna hope that we did save it. I'm pretty sure I did. We're gonna find out right now. Yeah, just multiply by 1.5. That's true. That would be too easy. Oh, it's not even letting me log in. Uh-oh. Please don't ask Vesh to do math this late. Well, I could show you the AT long script and sell 50% script if it would let me. Yeah, but usually it still lets you stay in the server. Let's oh, there it goes. All right, so I'm assuming that didn't save. Yeah, none of that saved. So I have it saved over here, so I know what the sizes are. I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm not going to sit here and do all of them in front of you guys, but I will show you these. So here's the AT long. Oh, it's too long. So I'm going to take the trigger order out and then post it after. So leave the semicolon and then just add this after the semicolon. So that's all one script, but I had to split it because it was too long. And you said the cover 50%? All right. Now keep in mind, I have these set to send right away. So at the end where it says send, change that to load if you don't want it to send automatically. And remember, always use these on your demo account first. Don't be coming to me. Did you skip my long question on purpose? No, I didn't. Can you show me the script where you put them? Or where? Did I miss your long question? I'm scrolling. I still don't, when did you ask it? 11:50. It wasn't that long ago. I don't see a long question, Thomas. Was it the did you save your montage one? They just updated DOS recently, I heard. What's new in it besides different looking execution arrows on the charts? Are they different? They look the same to me. It was a long time ago. What was the question? Re-ask it. I just scrolled up. I don't even see. Was it the options question? So what was your thoughts on? I don't see any other. Oh, here it is. I think. You went to the one-shot set risk trading now. So why would you go back to the 112 if you have a system that is working? And what makes you think you will be able to get all of your ads when before you said your emotions won't let you? It's a good question. I'm not sure that I will go back. If this is really working out for me and I can figure out how to scale out of these positions where I'm just getting full size right away, I'm just going to keep doing that, right? There's no reason for me to do 112. But what I was getting at is where I have a set risk. Like here, I'll just show you an example. Where did that go? Did I X out of it by accident? Or did it? Oh, there it is. So let me full screen. something like, where was it? LYV. This is a good example. So if we pull up the LYV chart, this second trade here, where we're extending, instead of me stopping out, knowing that if we get stopped out, I'm just going to get right back in, maybe I wouldn't stop out there, right? Instead of taking the one-to-one risk there, maybe I'll let it go and just add to it, right? And look to maybe have a set risk of, like, say my set risk is $20 per trade, like it is right now. So say I know I'm going to get back into this trade if it stops me out and only goes a little bit higher. Like, say I can feel it starting to top out, but it just stops me out, and I know I'm going to get back in if it stops me out. Instead of letting it stop me out and then getting right back in, why not just add and then look to have a $40 total set loss, right? Just take a new addition and then just up the total risk amount. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I was thinking, more along the lines of. So it's not that I'm looking to get back into 112. I'm just looking to possibly not let my set stops take me out if I feel like we're in a really good trade and I only feel like I'm a little bit early. And I remember LYV was just that. I remember, I think, saying in the live trade, I think this is going to stop me out, but we're going to look to get right back in. Where that, imagine if I didn't stop out and I just added to it, now we're in twice the size and we could have got this big drop. That would have been pretty awesome, right? So that's kind of what I was talking about. What makes you choose your entry? Well, ISW scanners is number one. Well, why would my average suck? It would just be, I mean, it's no different. I mean, you know what my average would be. In that case, it would just be halfway up per se. And there's no reason that I can't, like, say it comes back down and I get 1-to-1 on that top trade, or like 1-to-1, like I can take half off at break even. Like if I'm like, I don't plan to do that, but that's what I could do per se. It just means that I was a little bit early to the trade. But what I'm using as my entry is ISW scanners pop up, tells me there's an intense move going on. I pull it up, and I like to use previous resistance. It's my biggest thing. So I look for a stock that has previous resistance and it went through and extended itself away from it. That's really like the main criteria that I look for. And then I try to feel the top. I try to feel the price action slowing down. Maybe it's near a key level, a $0.50 whole dollar. I don't know. Over time, I developed what I like to think is feel, and I try to feel the tops. That's it. I mean, I don't really know any other way to put it. It comes with experience. Using time and sales a lot is what got me started with this. I feel like it really kind of let me hone in a little bit. And now it's just kind of reading the chart, reading the price action. But I don't think my average would suck. I wish I could pull up a chart. It's not going to let me. I guess everything is kind of updating. I could. Do I even still have this on here? Yeah, I do. I don't know what. Let's just go to CENX, I guess. No, that wouldn't. CNET. What was the other one that we traded today? MIST. So is a 5 minute? Go to 1 minute here. All right. So I don't really know how to draw lines on this thing. Drawings, horizontal line. Here we go. All right. So say we have a line here. No, I don't want another one. Get out of here. So say we have this previous resistance, right? It's coming up. It's kind of grinding, then we make a nice intense move. Comes back down, and we break this resistance, right? And then we start to extend. So say I start at 4, and I hit the 50 cent button. So we have 20 cents, right? So if I hit it right at, say, $3.99, thinking that 4 might hold, my stop is at $4.19. Say we bust through 4 and we keep extending on this same move, right? It's a nice move. It's exactly what we were looking for. It just wasn't done extending itself yet. But now I'm going to get stopped out at 419 because it wanted to go up and hit 427. So what I'm saying is, in the future, I'm not doing this now. I'm going to continue to get stopped out at my set risk right now. But in the future, just it's a thought that's been going through my head, is maybe instead of letting that stop me out at 419, if I think that this move is, just squeezing a little bit more, and now we're in an even better probability of this thing reversing, I could not stop out, hit the add when I feel the top, right? So we're letting this one go against us a little bit more. Then we can look for it to be a $40 max loss after that add. So obviously we let it go through our stop. So it's not going to be, say, a full 20 cents more. It's only going to be like 15 cents, maybe even 10 cents. But it gives us the ability to try to hit that top again with double the size. So then when we get this move down, you're making some pretty good money, right? You're looking for it to come back down to this previous resistance, which is what it ended up doing. That's the thought process. That's kind of what I have going through my head. But for the time being, until we figure out what we really want to do, if we were to get in at 399, our stop's going to be at 419, and we could just get back in. But we're looking to scale out now, right? So if we're looking to scale out using the pivots, as you can see, the pivots really worked out nicely until right here. So bounced. So every time we bounce like this, we're making new lows. So the pivot's going from here, 404 to 387 to 377, come down, bounce here, go lower. So now we got 345, and then we finally break that, right? So if we were to stop out our max risk here, say $20, we get back in near the top, just say we get back in at 419 where we stopped out. We now say take 75% here, and we're riding the other 25% out, and we make back plus some of what we ended up losing. So that's the thought process. So, okay, I was literally about to cry thinking that maybe you guys couldn't see that because I didn't hit full screen, but I did. So that's the idea. Yeah. It wouldn't be... so the charts came back up. It wouldn't be like... So if it was 20 cent risk on the first trade and I let it go 10 cents past that, that means I technically only have another 10 cents for that to stop me out again. So if I were to hit it at that 10 cents, now instead of having 20 cents on the second set of shares, I only have 10 cents. So that's what you have to keep in mind. So it's like I would be adding, but the risk is a lot closer now. But at the same time, I told myself I'm jumping back into that trade anyways. The only thing is now my risk is, my wiggle room is a lot less, but my risk versus reward is a lot higher, right? I'm looking for much bigger reward, and my risk is still a set amount up there, right? So now I'm risking 40, but if I have double the size, like say, just for instance, let's do the math. So say I got in at that 399, and then say we got the add at 420. So that would put our average right around 410, right? If we held that full size all the way down here to that previous resistance, or just somewhere near it, just say we only got to 385. Let's pull out the calculator. So the 20 cent button would be 100 shares. So 100. So we'd have 200 shares at 410. So at 386. Sorry, now I'm trying to do my 14 cents or 24 cents. So 200 times 0.24. So it's $48. So technically you'd make $48 if you got out of the full position there versus losing $40, right? So you're making a little bit more than 1-to-1 on your risk reward. But if you were to stop out and then get back in, you're only going to break even, right? You're going to be wrong once. And then if you got back in and you came back down and hit your 1-to-1, right? You stopped out for a 1-to-1, you make 1-to-1. so you make 0. So it's a pretty big swing, right? You're taking the same $40 risk, but you're giving yourself an opportunity to make double, more than double the money, right? Because you're making 0 versus say 48 if you were to just exit the full position there. So again, this is just something that's stewing in my head, and I'm paying attention to it and trying to really think about it. It's what I think about daily while I'm doing my Rubik's Cube. What's up, Eric? Hi, could you please share your hotkey scripts in a link or file? I could. I'm not going to do it right now. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future. But it's actually a pretty good idea. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding them. I mean, is there anyone specific that you want the most? Or like maybe 2 or 3? Because I posted some a little bit earlier. I could give those to you to kind of mess around with for now, and then I could look into making a file. I know, and you know, I make you think more. Yeah, I love it. I love it. No, I seriously do. I want you to find an angle that I didn't find, so that we can talk about it. You know that. But yeah, after Eric answers me here, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm getting tired. I can feel myself shutting down. The balls is wearing off. Yeah, whenever you have time, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. If you message me in Discord, I can. If you have any specific ones that you want, I can shoot them over to you that way. It'd be much easier. Yeah, I know. I'm starting to feel it / hear it as well. But all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully we made some progress here in some way, shape, or form. I appreciate you all stopping by as always. I appreciate the support. I really do. Tom, again, thanks for stopping by, and the donation, always appreciated. If you guys have any questions or comments that you didn't think of throughout the live stream, feel free to find me on Discord, Twitter. You can leave a comment on one of the YouTube videos. Have a good weekend, and don't forget to like and subscribe as always. And I'll see you guys Monday morning. Peace.